So let's go to the vector. So let me comment this, and this is first string, right? So what all you studied first string, that will work for vector as well. Most of them, I'm not saying all of them. So most of them can work for your vector. So next thing is vector. Vector, tor. Now let me copy this into main everything. So let me paste this here. Now we have a vector. How to create a vector? You just write a vector, then int, that is what type you are creating, then vec. So one thing you need to remember here. So you need a library called vector. In string you don't require that. So everything will be again, there are further I'm going to talk about map, unordered map. They all require these types of library. Please remember this, or else you simply use that bit, right? There is a library that includes all other libraries, so you can use that. No problems, no problem. Now vector, I have created a vector, right? I have created a vector. Now what I can do is I can push back the data into it. So what type of data I can push back? I can push back. So let me take this as a method one. Method one to create a vector. To create create vector. So if you know about vector, please skip this video, or skip this video to the timeline where I am going to discuss about iterators. So method one of creating vector is obviously 1 2 3 4. Like this you can give like an array. So what would be the method 2? I mean the method 2 would be using pushback, right? As I said, you can. So how to print? Before that, let me print it. So before printing, so let me write a second method. After that I'm going to print using, right, for loop. Now second method is obviously you can push back. So let me create a vector again. So of int type, of let me call it as vec2. So let me call this as vec1. Then vec2.push push bsck back. Need to push back 1. Why you need to push back 1? It is not again you need to push back integer type, because I have mentioned here what type of vector that I am using. Now again vector, I can push back like 10, anything you can push back. Dot, sorry, vec2 dot push push back 2 or 20, anything you can. Then let us talk about how to print the vector, and you can use simple for loop, or you can use iterators. So that is why I said, so printing method can be of two types. Printing method 1. So how you can do that? So for loop you will run. So for I is equal to 0, I less than, let me take it as this vector, right? This vector, or let me create another vector for this. So after each and every comment, let me create one other vector. So let me call it as 3. So vec3 dot size. So again size. So let me talk about size but first before coming to this. So size, as I said, is size. So what it returns is the size of the vector. So let me print the size of the previous vector, that is vec2. Vec2 dot size will give you 2, because there are only 2 elements in that vector and line. So let me, for now, let me remove this. So let me run. I should get 2. So I'm getting 2. So let me paste this. My god. So printing method 1. So I will start from here, then I will go increment the I, then I need to simply see out vec3 dot at you can use, or you can use simply you can use this one, or you can use at, anything is right. So instead of giving endline, let me give a space. After that, let me give inline. So let's not give this inline. After that means after this line, let me give that inline. So if I run, I should be running all this 1 2 3 4. So I am running. So this is first method. What would be the second method? So create a iterators. So method 2. Now to create iterators, of what type you are creating. So before that, let me create a vector. So let me give the value vec4. Let it be 1 2 3 4. Now I'm going to create a iterator. So vector int. So iterator is like you need to traverse through the vector. That means iterator should be of what type? It should be of vector type itself. Like if you want to traverse through like using pointers, imagine you have created a pointer, then you need to traverse through the array. Then what type of pointer you will create? Obviously the pointer would be of the same kind. This what array is of, right? What array with the data type of pointer would be same as that of data type of array. Same in the same fashion. Let me create uh, iterators. So vector int. So you need to put this double colon. Then iterator you need to mention. After that, you need to give the variable. So let us give it. So iterator as it. So let me start a for loop. So there it should start from vec4 dot begin. Again, begin is what? It will point iterator to the first element of the vector. Then it should not be equal to vec4 dot end. That means if you reach the end of the vector, then you stop, right? You stop. Then it plus plus you can do. There if I print, I need to print what? I need to print star it because it's a pointer. You need to dereference it, right? So after that, let me give end line. So let me run. So again, it should be printing you 1 2 3 4. It's printing it. So this is about iterator. And again, there is another method to create iterator. So let me do that. So I need to traverse through this vector called vec4. So instead of creating iterator like this, can I reduce this form because it is so much hectic, right? When you saw this first, you thought like what I'm going to learn. It feels like so much difficult, right? So that is what I felt initially. So for that, you create a for loop. So there you write auto because in C++ we have auto. It will take the data type of that uh, iterator automatically. So based on what it is pointing to. So vector is pointing to the iterator. If it is pointing to the vector of int type, so it will take a vector vector int. That is what it takes. So it. So it should start from where? Vec4 dot begin. Then it shouldn't be equal to. So again I should let me change the iterator variable name, right? Again it1, it shouldn't be equal to vec4 dot end. Then it1 incremented. Then you need to print star it1. After that, let me give some gap. After that, let me give some cout and line. So there is a problem here. Auto unable to reduce the auto. Why is that so? So when you are using auto, I think let me it shouldn't be equal to begin. So let me run this. So it can't deduce auto. So I think it should have worked, right? Can't deduce auto from, it is pointing to. So let's see. After that, let us move to the next technique. That is what you can do. Other things that you can do using vector. You can push back, right? You can pop back also. So let me create pop back like a pushback. So let me do that pop back. So let me do a vector here. So let me take the same vector. Let me call it as phi. The size is phi. That is a variable name is vec phi. So I need to pop back. So vec phi dot pop pop. back back back. Right now, if I print this vector, let me use this for loop. So let me traverse through this vector. So let me change this to 5. Let me change this to 5. Let me make use semicolon here. So if I run, I should be running only 1 to 3 because the last element is removed. So after that, what we can do is we can front, front. So front means what? You need to return the first element. In this vec5, let me return the first element, vec5 dot front. So it should be giving you the first element, that is 1. So for last element, again back. For back, it is cout vec5 dot back. Then after that, let me run this. So you will get 3, right? 1, right? You got 3. Now what you can do is you can check whether vector is empty or not. Before that, let me clear this. You can clear the vector as well. So let me clear this vec5 dot clear. And if I do this, it will remove all the elements from vector 5. So if I print, I should get nothing. Similar to what we have done in the previous class, that is for string. So nothing is printed. Now I need to check whether this vec5 is empty or not. For that, I will use empty. Now I need to cout vec5 dot empty in line. So it will return true if that vec5 is empty. So it is returning true or 1. It will return 1. If it is empty, if I do for 4, it should return me 0 because 4 is not empty, right? Vec4 is not empty. Let me run. Right now, again for iterator, again we are covering much more about this iterate. You just know about this, how to create, like manually you need to create it without using auto. In next videos we are going to cover how to use auto, right? So this is about vectors. So thank you.